Hi, my name is Tanya and welcome to my small backyard vegetable garden here in central Victoria. Well, I am in a bit of a mad panic. We had a small amount of rain after I finished pulling out the tomatoes in my last video, and today we are due to get large falls, so I am in a mad rush to get this bed top dressed before the rain. It is always good that can sort of pack down the top dress. And I raced out and I'm getting all these bags on here. As you can see from the wind, it is starting to pick up. I'm going to try and get the peas planted and a few other jobs done. I'm not quite sure how much I will get done, but I'm just getting through this so we can have some rain to water in anything and everything that I can get done. Once again, I'm just putting on composted cow manure and the mushroom compost. I raced and got the painting done yesterday, and as you can see, I've only just made it in time. I'm putting some blood and bone out on top. The rain has started falling, but I'm going to push on and get pre-soaked snow peas in the ground because they have been in a cup for a bit over 24 hours and they need to go in the ground, and this is the perfect time to do it. So I'm just going to push on in the rain. It's quite warm rain, so I did think about getting a raincoat on, but it would have been just too hot. So I'm just going to tick off these last few jobs and then I will go inside and wait for it to stop. It said it was forecast for twice today, so we're just going to work with the rain and get whatever I can get done. With these peas, I put them in thick because they were 2 packets and I just layer them in. I've always done it this way, put in heaps. Some get eaten by the slugs, some grow and I tip prune and eat the pea shoots while I'm out in the garden. And I don't think you can ever have too many snow peas. Like, you can't pick too many snow peas. If you're picking them and eating them while you're in the garden and then wanting to take some inside, I don't think you can ever have too many. And you will always have friends that want snow peas. Now at the end of this garden bed, I am putting in this pretty white perennial dianthus. Something that has been good about me tidying up my back gateway is that I have now access to some things that I have been buying and stashing away. Some of the things are these vintage or antique, I'm not sure, terracotta garden edging. I absolutely love it. It's been in there. It has been waiting to be used in the glass house, but now I have access to it. I am going to just use it in the garden and enjoy it. So I'm using that to hold up this end because eventually the glass house will go where that netting is. But for now, I'm just going to put this in because the rain is well and truly here. I'm getting drenched. I've got the peas planted, the bed top dressed mostly, and a plant in the ground, so I am pretty happy about that. I'm going to go in and sit and wait for when the rain stops, and then I will come out and keep going because we are due for some heavy rain tonight. Got the chilies still sitting here in the copper, and I'm making sure that they have water in them and some sea salt, and they are looking pretty good. Now a couple of hours later, I came back out because I had these things I bought earlier in the week and a few things to put in this bed. I'm hoping to put things in here and then succession plant in the other two beds when they are filled, although it might not work out right with timing. It might be too cool by then to get things really going. So we'll just have to do what we can do. So I've got some mini cauliflowers, 3 Brussels sprouts, which I tried to grow last year and I got them in too late, so I didn't have much luck there. I've got some ornamental cabbages, I think they are, and some more onions and some marigolds just to put through the bed. And these are the terracotta edging that I found down the back, and I've had them packed away for probably 15 years. So I'm not putting off using them now. I'm just going to enjoy them. And they fit perfectly in the bed. When I found that they fitted perfectly across there, I couldn't believe it. They had to be used. So yeah, I've been stashing away vintage finds. We love a lot of rust, so we've been stashing things away, and I'm not going to put off using it anymore. So I took this cover off the beetroot, carrots and the onions because I want a lot more light getting in there, and this cover will be better used over something that needs to be netted for the cabbage white moth. And when I put the terracotta edging around the garden bed, it just is enough to stop the birds from getting in there and digging around. So hopefully that will be enough. I need to put something at the back there, and I think I'll stack some little pots along there just to put them off from digging there. I'm just going to get this bed mulched, my usual pea straw, and I have quite an allergy to pea straw dust, unfortunately, but I will be getting it watered in, and that makes it a lot easier to work with. Just going to space things out because I want that cover to go over them. I'm going to get some ornamental cabbages along here, along the edge of here. I had thought some ornamental cabbages and maybe some salvias in between, which would look really pretty with the green snow peas growing up the back of it. I'm wanting things to look nice and full, a bit sort of cluttered. So I'm just making sure I don't dig into the snow peas I planted earlier and marking it with a cane. Now I'm removing all the small and maybe damaged leaves, anything that's going to hit on the ground, just to keep them nice and healthy. Get those in and make sure they all are underneath that little wire mesh to keep the birds at bay. Hopefully they may get in under there, but hopefully it will reduce the damage that they do. Now this side I'm going to put the cane down so that I know where to plant the succession snow peas, but I will put in these ornamental cabbages. So I'll just mark where that they need to go eventually, and I will do that within the next week or so. Get some more soaked so that I can put them in. And I may put some over the arch where I have the beans. I'll have them on the other side where I did have the tomatoes growing up over. So I'm just going ahead and cutting off those lower leaves. And get the wire back over. I'm moving quite fast because I can feel the storm that's going to blow in. Where we are, you can feel it coming up from the south. The wind starts picking up. My dog is starting to get a bit frantic. He knows it's on its way. This is the salvia that I pulled out that was planted in front of the tomatoes. So I'm just going to pop it in here with the other one. So it'll be in between in there. I'm just sort of trying to block off those ends where the birds will run in through there. But if there's something there, maybe it will deter them or keep the damage low. Then I may, like I said, put a few salvias along the front of those ornamental cabbages. These bamboo canes are very handy for marking things out, and then it gives me, I don't get them all planted and go, oh, that falls outside of where I want it to. So I'm just grabbing some of these metal supports. I'm going to water in the pea straw dust. So I'm just going to space them out. I'm hoping to get some faster growing greens to plant in around this. This is going to be all netted, so they will be cared for, and some lettuces and bits and pieces. While everything is netted, I may as well have them growing in under there while these are on a slower journey. Now I'm just putting a bit of potting mix into the base of the holes, because the top dress is quite fluffy and I don't want the plants being planted too low, especially those little seedlings. These bigger ones have a lot more soil around it, so they don't tend to sink into the ground as much or into the bed as much. So just get them in. I'll get some supports on them because they are a bit sort of all over the place. I'm doing the same thing with them, just chopping off some of those lower leaves because the mulch is sitting up high around these plants here. And then I'll get some supports on them so they're not flicking around in the wind. We're meant to have a fair bit of wind with the rain, and they'll be supported. I do not want them being snapped off at the base. So just get some supports in and some fabric tie around them just to keep them supported through the middle until they take off. Just gently, this fabric tie, it's like t-shirt material. It is very, very good. It's quite expensive, I find, but I reuse the pieces. I untie them and reuse them. Now I'm going to water everything in with sea salt because I don't really want to overwater and then we get a lot of rain. So and you can see the wind is really picking up again. Just give it a good water in with some sea salt, and that will help it while it starts to rain, and then I'll assess to see if it needs to be watered again. But in the meantime, I'll get this cover back on, I'll get the netting on. I'm just hurrying to get these done. My dog has come to see me to say it's time to go inside. He is really feeling that there is a storm coming, and he is not liking that I am still outside in it. So he knows it's close, but I have these and onions left to plant, which is not onions are so fiddly to plant, so it's probably not the best thing I left till last, but we'll just keep moving on. Put those flowers around the base. And I'm just going to shake these out. I've got some sea salt in the cup. I'll get the dirt off them and put them in there. And then I will separate them and I plant them, these ones in pairs. Trying to hurry to plant onions is, it's, yeah, test patience. So get those in. I want to be able to put one of the little wire covers over this. I made another for this, and just remove some of the mulch, and then I'll work out where they can go so I can put the cover back over them and they are protected from the birds digging them out. So just make a couple of lines. I do this and then just lay them in the little valley. I get a bit of potting mix and put back over them, and then sort of half stand them up. My doggo is barking at me to say, come on, come on, come on, hurry up. And I am moving as fast as I can, get the potty mix over it. And I definitely do not want to go inside without getting the cover over it. So I'm going to see this through even if I get rained on, because to have to come out because the birds beat me out after the rain and have to replant them is not a situation I want. So put the cover back over. I have a few more of these covers to make because I want to plant some more beetroot and carrots and maybe some of the rainbow chard that I grew in the seed snail. I made it on time and it's quite good. I can go in and get changed again for the second time today, get out of the wet clothes, and I'm extremely happy with the jobs that I got achieved. So this is autumn gardening and I absolutely love it. I love gardening in the rain. If I could, I would just put a raincoat on and keep going, but I don't think my phone would cope with it with the rain. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Bye for now.